Yes, I am him, he. Y'all see that title. We're gonna get into a couple of pleasantries and then we're just gonna get right into the topic of this video. So I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Almost quit doing content. And the reason I almost quit doing content, and it had nothing to do with the actual process or anything that comes with doing content. It's just that, man, sometimes being a parent can be trash, and it actually doesn't have anything to do with the duties that has to be done with being a parent, what you have to deal with raising a child, your first child, or anything like that. It has everything to do with the outside things that come with being a parent, raising a child in the suburbs, man. And I don't really want to get into all of that, but it's very easy for me when other things, other higher priorities in life start to going, not really going awry, but not going the way that I would wish for them to go, or there's unnecessary barriers or things that I have to deal with based on how another person is trying to get their narrative off, to where it can be easy to just be like, you know what, I ain't gonna go live. You know what, I'm gonna quit this because that would be the easy route. I ain't really a person that's like really out there like that, but I know that this content thing can be an avenue to express certain opinions or certain talking points that I would like to be conversations in my age bracket, my race. And I know that I have something to bring to it, so I can't just put it down because it would just be too easy for me to put content down. Because I could go and not be known and be, be in my own world and be cool, but that's not what life is about, and that's not the life experience that I had that I have just taking the easy way out. So we just gotta push through, do what we gotta do, and not get discouraged and not go off the road that we know or I know that I'm supposed to be on. So we're gonna get into no contact with parents. And this video is for a person that maybe may doubt themselves and maybe they have not yet cut off contact with parents or family members and they feel they may need to. And I'm going to give you my experience. I'm going to give you why I think sometimes it's needed and the process that I went through to just coming to a conclusion that there's just some people in family, there's some people that are close to family that I just shouldn't be around because they don't have my best interest at heart and it becomes volatile. So, what's the point of even interacting if we are not on the same page? So, I may say some things that you may have heard if you've seen my other videos, but this all ties into the topic. So, for most people, what are all the other lives? What are all the other lives are so weird? I don't know what that means. I'm gonna try to stay focused because I don't want to get too off topic. You know what I'm saying? But basically from birth, my parents' relationship, the reason for my inception, the reason why I was born was really from a dysfunctional start, a dysfunctional point of view. I don't really know how to say what I'm trying to say. Light ain't working. I don't really get that. But basically I'll say, and I don't really want to bash anybody. I don't want to come off like I don't want to put my emotions into this because I don't want my points to be missed. But long story short, my parents got together and I believe that they both had different ulterior motives. One of them had more selfish motives, and I think that was the start of one parent having a sort of resentment for me from the time that I was born, possibly at least from the time that I was like a teenager, because I think that they saw the other parent in me and what how my other parent treated them and to kind of use them. I think that because they don't really have contact with that person, they kind of took that anger out on me. So both my parents, they had traumatic upbringings that included absent fathers, SA, some going through it, some maybe witnessing it, some dealing with people that had been welcome to be around them, even though people knew that they had these SA incidents, not even allegations. And I think that some of the things that my parents went through, maybe that they had not totally dealt with, spilt over into the relationship that we have with each other. I'm not gonna lie to you, for the I'll be 30 in January. I've never really had a real relationship with either of my parents. One parent, because I didn't grow up around them, and some of that resentment may have stopped them from really accepting me as they should as their child. And the other, I think some of the psychological issues that they have and have not really chosen to really deal with and try to overcome or try to work with every day block them from having a real relationship with me. And I'm trying not to say which parent is which, but I think to get to grasp a better understanding, we just have to get to the nitty gritty. I believe that my dad got with my mom so that he could have a child. And I don't believe he wanted to have a child with a person. I think he just wanted to have a child. I say this because we've had discussions of this, and it's kind of plain to see what that is the case. So I'll kind of speed up the story. Long story short, I moved in with my dad when I was about 6 years old. From the get go, the first day that I moved in with him, as we was driving from Florida to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where I would spend my childhood with, I realized he was gay. And why? Because you live with a man. I just, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not bashing or nothing like that, but I caught it from there. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm finding out things that I never knew already. So speed up a little bit more. He ends up getting custody of me, and I would go to visit Florida, my family in Florida, my mom's side of the family. And over the years, as I look at it as an adult, I kind of see that other people would they kind of would treat me different, and it looks like they had a certain type of perspective looking at me because there were a few assumptions about my upbringing, maybe that Pittsburgh was some type of big city, so I was just living it up. You feel me? And there was some resentment from that, and I have seen some resentment with some interactions that I've had with certain siblings, and I'm kind of trying to figure out where it was from. So this is the thing with parents, because some people may be watching this and say, "Oh, you're just supposed to be cool with the way you was brought up. There's no reason why you should cut your parents off. You should just be thankful that they put you on this earth." And I am thankful that they put me on this earth. I'm actually thankful that at a point in time, like after like 3 years of living up here, that my dad made the decision to move to a safer area. Because I don't know if I would have stayed living in the first place that we moved in that general area, if I would have grew up there, if I would have had the quote unquote trajectory I had or the mindset that I have, growing up, not being so enthralled in self-hate, being enthralled in violence against your fellow man that looks like you, being in situations where you're kind of influenced to disrespect women, having a little bit more structure than the average most other young black men that grow up in lesser privileged or lesser served communities. The thing, and I'll just speed up to my adult time frame, and I'm just put these notes down because I'm gonna just tell y'all the story. So, most people, when you have parents that may not necessarily be doing what they're supposed to do, they may not, give you everything you need from a a pouring into you point of view, teaching you how to become an active, functioning person in society, there can be some resentment. And with that resentment, there comes a form of manipulation to try to frame your mind that just one second, let me drink some water or some tea. There was this form of manipulation that one preface before I get into this. I am going to say things that I believe to be true and believe to be facts, not to persuade anybody or put people out there, but just so the story can be more understandable. So my mother's mother, my grandmother, there would be times where she would say things and it would basically be like, you can't hold your mother accountable for not being there the way that she was supposed to be because she's the one that put you here, and that should be good enough. You need to get over whatever issues you have with your parents because the Bible says this, that, and the third. You can't not communicate with your mother, with your father, because you're upset with the way that they treat you or they treated you, because the Bible says you're supposed to honor your father and your mother. And I grew a resentment to the emotional manipulation and mental manipulation these tactics seemed to be rooted from, because it was like you were trying to train my mind to be okay with being mistreated. You were trying to train my mind to be okay with becoming 18 and not knowing anything about how to get a job, not knowing anything about how to fill out an application, aside from what people tried to teach me in school. So, my biggest crux with my parents, it actually wasn't anger from my upbringing. It wasn't that I felt a way about how I was brought up or that we should have had more, because both of my parents are intelligent individuals, and I do feel like if they dealt with their problems, if they made more of an effort to try to not, kind of sit in their issues, we'd have a better relationship, and we would have been better off growing up. My problem is it kind of started when I moved back up here, because me and my dad, we made an agreement of what, how things were going to go when I moved in with him. And I did everything on my end, what we agreed to. I didn't veer off. We agreed for me to move in, stay for 6 months. If I'm staying long, stay for 6 months for free. If I'm staying longer, then I'm going to have to start paying rent. I told him from the get-go, I'm moving up here to be with my girl. After these 6 months, we gonna get a place together, and we're gonna do it like that. And that's pretty much what I did. I think I stayed maybe like a month or two. I think I stayed a month longer than 6 months, and I attempted to pay rent. And then there was, it seemed like there was an issue, a created issue, and I didn't really understand that. Now, from moving in, and I'm gonna tell you just a couple points because this is gonna get somewhere, and it's probably gonna lead to the problem I began to see with my mother as well. So the first day I moved, he made a couple promises, and me knowing my dad, I was like, okay, he seems to be trying to act like he's grown up a little bit. He's a little bit more um there as far as I wanted to do better, wanted to help me out. But then there were certain promises where I was like, man, he ain't about to do that. That's a lie. You know what I'm saying? So it was always in the back of my mind knowing that he was gonna try to manipulate the situation some way. I just didn't know how. So when you're trying to find a place, sometimes you can hit a dead spot. Sometimes it may not be going as the way you want it to go, but if you keep pressing, you keep looking, you stay diligent, you're going to find a place. So we're having that issue, and he seemed to want to take the fact that we were having problems finding a place that, oh, you're not actually going to move out. You're actually trying to do this, trying to create narratives. And that is a problem that we always had, of him just acting like he just know everything. You know everything. Even if I tell you what's going on, even if I'm 100% telling you what this is, I'm doing this, that, and the third, you're going to put it in your mind, nah, he doing this. Because I just know. I just know. It's nothing that's backing up these things, but I just know everything, so this is what's going on. So I don't know if he really thought that, or if he was kind of trying to put it in my head like, hey, maybe you don't really want to move out. Maybe you do want to stay. Maybe you do. Maybe it is a little bit easier for us to just help each other out. But I ain't gonna lie to you. I did not like my dad because of the way he treated me growing up. When I was 12, he decided to be a foster parent after we had a very traumatic experience with fostering a friend of one of his a nephew of one of his close friends at the time, and we went through a lot. Him, threatening me, saying, "Hey, I can do this to you, and your dad's not gonna believe you." So this, that, and the third. Him trying to unalive my dad, stealing, a lot of crazy things. So our problem started there because we went through that. We finally, decided to have this dude go somewhere else, and he asked me, do you want me to be a foster parent? How do you feel about this? And I said, no. I don't think that our relationship's where it is. And obviously, I'm not saying it with all these words as a 12-year-old, but I said, I don't think our relationship's where it's supposed to be. So I don't think it's going to be the most advantageous thing for me if you become a foster parent. And I remember this, he got upset. And he basically was like, I don't care, this is what I'm doing. You're just going to have to deal with it. So throughout the years, I was doing like a little Cinderella role, you know what I'm saying? And I was treated differently than the foster kids. And on top of that, I had to pitch in low key as like a substitute parent to look after them. So at a time, it kind of felt like, dang, bro, like, you don't have to treat me better than the kids, but why are you treating me like crap? Why are you not, why don't we have a relationship? You know what I'm saying? Why do you always think you know everything? Why don't you be listening to what I'm saying? Well, like, it's like you like purposely don't hear me. And this is still the same to this day. So at a point, we got to a point where neither of us wanted to live with each other. We were both tired of each other. And the manipulation comes in on my mom's part. She sees that, and I believe that since my brother was in prison, and he was an adult, she no longer had something to fall back on from the benefits of having a kid that had a father that had, issues, so you could get some type of funding. And I don't want to go all into that, but I feel like that was the plan with me, because that's what she ended up doing once I moved down there. She played the whole card about how she let my dad take me when she was having a hard time. So now that you're having a hard time, you should let me get my child. So I'm all for it because I'm so tired of this dude. I'm so tired of having to do all the chores, and none of these kids that that I'm helping, look after have to have any responsibilities. I'm ready to go. Not really thinking about, hey, this lady don't care about you. She don't care about you. She's kind of wiped her hands clean of being a parent during the time that you move, because I see that I had to learn all on my own. Yes, we will really get into that. And I'm not ignoring the comments, but I'm already all over the place. I don't want to be more all over the place. So right when I moved down there, within days, I realized, she really don't like me. And I don't really know why, because honestly, we don't know each other. You know what I'm saying? I moved when I was 6, came back down when I was 17. We don't know each other for you not to like me. So there was already some type of baked in resentment that she had for me. Long story short, when I turned 18, funding, whatever she was doing with the woo wops was done, and she dips. She was actually trying to leave. No, when I graduated, she was actually trying to leave and just, leave me to be somebody else's problem when I turned 18 because the benefits of me being a kid and it wasn't there no more. But people convinced her to at least wait until I graduated. She also told me it was my fault that she was fleeing the state and leaving me out to dry, sending my sister to live with her dad. You feel me? It was my fault. It's my fault that all of this is going on. So I'm homeless. And I ain't gonna lie, bro. Living in Tampa, because this is about a year and a half time frame. Living with her, I was really in a depressed state of mind. And I could have did way more in school as far as preparing myself for college, preparing myself for doing whatever I was gonna do after after high school. But I just hated my life, and that was kind of a thing throughout my whole life. I always just felt like, damn, bro, if people could just do things different. And I'm just gonna be throwing. I'm just gonna be random with it, but it is what it is. Because like I said, like both of my parents, even though they went through their things, I'm not saying that they just had the most perfect upbringing, but both of my parents were in a position to where they was set up in doing something right when they got out of high school. My dad went to West Point. My mother was a police officer. She was in the police academy once she graduated high school. Bruh, do you know what I was doing when I graduated? Sitting around playing the game, acting like life wasn't coming towards me, acting like I knew my mama wasn't leaving, because it was like, dang, bruh, she ain't like I'm just supposed to do anything. I'm just supposed to do everything in this city that I'm still kind of having a culture shock. It's like, dang. So once she leaves, I move in with my cousin, my grandma, my dad's mother, rest in peace. It kind of set me up to a point where I had I had some change to at least get myself some clothes, because I hadn't got nothing new since I had moved down there, or very little things new as far as clothes and shoes, and at least pay my little rent I was paying before up until I got a job. If y'all see these gnats, bro, we live in the woods. This house is not insulated well. I promise you we're not dirty. It's just, yeah. So, boom. I find myself, really figuring everything out for myself, throughout the years that I lived in Florida. I bumped my head a lot because I didn't have no idea what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of things I didn't know coming from, impoverished upbringing. And it was a lot of things I didn't know as just basics of getting a job, being professional, knowing that you have to deal with certain things and you just can't be like, oh, it's not going the way I want to go, I'm going to quit. So I would do that a lot. You know what I'm saying? My first couple of jobs, not my first job or my second job, because those was pretty straight. But there were a lot of jobs where I just like walked out, or I just left one day and decided I never was going to go back. And these things came to bite me in the butt because I just didn't, I remember one time I quit two jobs because I had two jobs, one at a bakery and one at Chick-fil-A. And I wasn't working full time at either of them, but the amount of hours I was getting, it was over 40 hours a week. And it was a good little chunk of change for somebody that was, really didn't even pay. I didn't pay full bills nowhere. I was staying with family. But being that I wanted to be an adult, I wanted to get away from the bakery, I foolishly took a sales job without knowing it was a sales job and without knowing that this was a regular pay. I'm just thinking in my head, naive, like, y'all gotta pay me regular, I'm working. And y'all know them door-to-door sales jobs, they don't work like that. Independent contractor stuff, that's not how it worked. You feel me? But I didn't read these things. So long story short, fam, after I got dumped on my head with that sales job, being homeless, and having to move back in with a family member, that one of my siblings that has never had my best interest at heart. I realized, bro, you got to get a job. You got to act right. You can't just be so emotional when, when things don't go the way you believe they're supposed to go, because you got bills to pay. You can't do this quitting stuff. You can't flip out in all this BS, bro. You have to start learning how to regulate your emotions. So that leads me on the path to actually being a little bit more professional with jobs. And I ended up, that's when came to my mind that, because the sibling that I'll talk about, we'll talk about no contact with them as well. um I said, bro, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. I need to move somewhere where I at least know people. And that's kind of funny because I don't know nobody living here, even though I grew up here. I don't know nobody no more because I left when I was in junior year. But like, I need to be in a space where it can be on me on whether or not I'm successful. I don't need to be splitting bills with somebody that's playing, taking advantage of me, somebody that's looking at me like, oh, you get 40 hours a week, so we know you got bread. We know we could play with you, because you a little naive, you in distress. You know what I'm saying? I don't need nobody to be living with nobody that's looking at me like that. I'm thinking that's what I'm doing when I move, but I'm not. And let's get back to, with my dad and stuff. I'm not, I'm knowing that my dad ain't all the way being 100 with his intentions, but I'm thinking, at least, bro, this is my dad. He's not going to just straight out play me. And he didn't. So, and I don't know if it was because I ain't let him or it was because he wasn't going to do me like that. So, fast forward back to living with my dad and planning to move out. We're looking for something. We can't find nothing. He throws it out there. Hey, y'all can just stay with me. Now, in hindsight, if I want to be reasonable, it wasn't too bad of an offer because it was a 2-bedroom apartment. Even though it was 1 bathroom, we could have did what it did because, if we needed to. But number one, the place that I was staying at with my dad was very far from my job. I still don't have no car up in here. I will never get a car in Pittsburgh because these potholes is crazy. I will hop on that bus and that train. You know what I'm saying? Not saying we don't have a vehicle, but shoot, I'm not about to get another one. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah, I need to move somewhere where it's a little bit closer. The commute to work isn't so taxing because I need to make sure I can get to and from work. So I outright say no. I'm not really with that. Again, I don't like this dude. I just don't. He's not a happy person, and I believe that he has sat. He's not really dealt with a lot of things, and he kind of puts that unhappiness off to other people. I was kind of a punching bag growing up, and I saw as I was here with him for the 7 months I stayed with him that he was low key really trying to do that same stuff to me, and I'm just thinking in my head, bro, I'm grown. I'm just not gonna accept this. And we're not about to be fighting. We're not about to be getting in it, going back and forth. I just need to do what I need to do. At the time, I was looking at my girl's situation, and her mom's great, but it's just like, bro, it's time for us to be adults. It's time for, if we're gonna do this together, we need to do this, and it need to be on us. So I'm not knowing, I'm not knowing that he was really banking on me listening to him about, oh, you don't know what it's going to be when you move in with somebody. They might change their whole personality. I can help you guys out. I'm not knowing that he was mad about that. I'm not knowing that he took that a certain type of way. And I'm also not knowing that he was banking on me to help him with this medical procedure, not financially, physically. And I won't get into it. And I'm like, because he wasn't saying that. He was saying, because at first I had offered, but I'm still overweight, and I was overweight then. I wasn't in the shape to even do that, so I kind of let it go because health wasn't my priority. So it wasn't like I was about to drop 60 pounds or drop over 100 pounds like I have over the last year or so to get in a position to help him with that. So I kind of just put it in the back of my mind because, bro, I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to learn things for myself. So I'm focused on myself because that's what y'all were focused on. Don't be mad at me. I thought, as an adult at this point, that's just what we doing. You focused on what you got going on. I'm a focus on me because it's stuff that I have to learn to be a functioning adult. So thankfully, I get employment working a government job, and we working. I'm working that job. My girl's working her job, and we doing what it do. So one day, we going through things that you go through with moving in with somebody. You just learning different stuff about people. It's first time fights with certain situations, and I confided in my dad one day, and he tried to use that to try to again get. He tried to use that to like try to like low key planning in my hand. Hey, you can move back in with me. Da, da, da. And I didn't like that because I'm coming to you just to have somebody to talk to. And you so selfish, you so into you and what you want and how something can benefit you that you're using that to try to plant a seed in my head to mess up a now 8-year relationship just because we're going through a little bit of growing pains. I really felt disrespected that he would even think that was gonna work. So at that point, I'm already like, all right, I see what buddy on. He ain't changed not one bit. So fast forward to COVID, I go through a couple mental health issues. I had some shoes on, they hurt my feet. I go through some mental health issues, and he again, he's still doing what he's doing, and he basically, because we didn't tell him, and he basically was like, I can see that y'all going through something. Let me come over so we can talk about if I can help y'all or not. That's basically what happened. And I don't remember if he. I think we were just communicating, and he was just saying, "Hey, are you not okay?" So we talking, and we this was kind of like when I was like, it kind of like confirmed to me like, damn, bruh, that like your intentions was just all about you for real. So he makes this comment because we was having money problems, and he like, well, you didn't want to move in with me, and this, that, and the third. Mind you, bro, we living at our second apartment. We living at we moved somewhere better than the first place we stayed in, and the money problems I was having, it was just momentarily because I've been working ever since I've been able to because I wasn't able to as a child. I wasn't allowed to. But ever since I was 18, ever since I had to get a job when, I got left in Florida, I had been working. So it was just a momentary problem. And it was COVID. And y'all know COVID, some things was just up in the air. So he helped us out. But the thing was, bro, we had this conversation. You're like, yo, I'm going to give you this money. We both talking because he was going to he giving it to both of us. He not just giving it to me. I'm going to give you this money so you can get back on your feet. Not one time in this conversation, even, he done made a slick comment and all that. I'm processing that. Not one time in this conversation did he say, pay me back. Now, I'm just maybe it's something wrong with me, but as a grown man, I believe that if you want everything to be understood in the time that the discussion's being had, everything should be said. Now a month later he hit me with you got to pay me back for all that, and then he's just getting real aggressive, and he kind of take advantage of the fact that I'm not where I'm supposed to be at the time. But ain't never helped me apply for no job. Ain't never helped me apply for no college. We ain't never even had a conversation like, hey, what you want to do when you out of school? What you think you can do? You want to get a job, this, that, and the third? We ain't never had no conversation. But the time that I'm going through mental health issues, as you've gone through mental health issues your whole life, and you haven't been able to be the man you're supposed to be, quote unquote, because of these mental health issues, quote unquote, / illnesses. You want to crap on me when I'm going through it and telling me, oh, you should have been got a job. You should have this, that, and the third. I'm just thinking in my head, how you know? How would you know I want it? You know what I'm saying? So at this point I tell him, bruh, I ain't really feeling this, bro. You sitting here talking like you just the number one dad, like you done did everything you supposed to be doing. I don't respect it. So cut him off for a little bit. Then it kind of I just he ain't, I just didn't appreciate the fact that he ain't like come back and we ain't really talk like men. We were supposed to, and he stood me up, and then he never addressed it. So now I'm getting hot because it's like, now you just trying me because and like you like just straight up disrespecting me and my time, and now I have a problem. So I kind of, we're not talking, and there's other things that happen, but I don't want to, it's I don't want to make the story too long, but it's other things that are happening where it's like, buddy tripping, bruh. Like you trying to make it something seem like it's not. You posting little stuff on social media, trying to make stuff seem. And it's I'm mad because it's like, bro, why you won't talk to me about this? Why you trying to make it seem like? Because I remember he posted something about, oh, you giving money to family members and they won't even pay you back. And I'm telling him because I snapped at this point after he stood me up, and I'm like, bruh, why are you trying to make it seem like 90% of the time that you done gave me some money, you just offered? Why are you trying to make it seem like I'm calling you for money and this, that, and the third? Why are you trying to make it seem like this money is something that you done just grinded and put blood, sweat, and tears in and make it seem like somebody trying to leech off you? No, bruh. You leading with this because you ain't never had it, and now you trying to act like you some different person because you got a couple pieces of change. First of all, bruh, we don't need you. You need us. And the reason I said this, and this is what happens when you don't hear people, when parents don't hear you, you'll try to put it out there, but you just want to play these games and mental gymnastics. I'm like, I'm knowing that you're gonna have to go through this procedure, and it would be very advantageous for us to be there and for you to be on our good side because you need help. You will need help. Remember that. So I'm telling them like, bro, I don't mess with you like that, bro. I don't look at you as the person that you present yourself to be because I know you. So if you and my girl had become pregnant at this time, I said, bro, if you want to have anything to do with what we got going on, you want to be in my daughter's life and this, that, and the third, this disrespect, this trying to put your miserableness on me is going to stop, because if it's not, then I don't need you in my life, bro. You know what I'm saying? You never told me how to get no job. You never taught me how to be a man and be professional, but I am one. And you're going to treat me like one or we don't have to speak. First strike, he barely addresses anything that I say in the text. While I'm texting, because the man don't answer the phone. The man don't want to have a one-on-one conversation. You don't want to be a man. So I'm already letting him know, because I'm not about to fight you to respect me. I'm not about to tell you 3, 4, 5 times, yo, I don't appreciate that. And if you love me, if you rock with me the way you feel, really rock with me, we just don't have to be. We don't have to. We don't have to be cool, bro. I'm not begging nobody to treat me right, because I'm gonna treat you right, and I'm gonna show love. I'm gonna look out for you. So if it's not gonna be reciprocated, then bro, you can go on, because I don't need somebody to carry me. I done figured it out myself, and I will continue to figure it out. So I made a comment saying like, bro, you've never even made an effort to get to know my girl. I done known this girl for over 10 years. I'm not even 25 at the time, and you don't know her. You don't know her mother. All you care about is yourself. So, bro, if you really feel like that, you can just care about yourself. Blocked him after I got the response, because he not really responding to nothing that I'm saying, or he twisting it, and it's like, bro, fam, I can't do this. I can't sit here and tell you how I feel and try to be straight up with what's going on and how I feel about this relationship, and then you don't even address what's going on. You try to act like I'm tripping. You try to act like this, that, and the third, and you try to act like what I said ain't true. Like, bro, we don't need you. We both professional people. We both intelligent individuals. We can find jobs. We've had without going to college. We've been straight because we can learn quick. You know what I'm saying? We not out here. We not brain dead. You know what I'm saying? We not doing crazy mind altering drugs that's having us out here like zombies. We've always moved up. We steadily just get better as adults being with each other. So I'm I'm at the point where it's like I'm cool off, dude. You know what I'm saying? But then again, my child is coming into the world. I want my child to have a relationship with her grandfather. I had relationships with my grandparents. Not oh I forgot to bring it up. I don't know either of my biological grandfathers. I've never met them. So if that's something that stems from whatever, never met them. Had step grandfathers, both possibly rest in peace to both of them. One of them is not here. They was some FNs, fuck niggas. So didn't really appreciate how they treated my grandmothers. But so I have my daughter, and I'm gonna get to the other parent. I have my daughter, and as we're going, as I'm going through my mental health stuff, I see that his best friend has some type of contempt for my girl, and it's never addressed, but it's never addressed to where it's like, yo, this is what's going on. This is why I'm treating her like this. But I'm seeing what's going on, and I'm like, in my head, I'm getting the idea that you feel that she has taken me away from y'all, even if I was up here single, I wouldn't just be with y'all all the time. Like it's close like that because I'd have just been doing my own thing. I don't fake kick it. We don't do that. It did used to be a time where we would go over his best friend's house and chill with her family. But after a point, I'm like, bro, I don't even want, like, we can't even be ourselves over here. It's super far. And now she acting like she got a problem with you, bro. We ain't going over there no more. You know what I'm saying? So I try to address it like, yo, your friend got a problem with her? What's the problem? If it's a problem, let's talk about it. But this stuff, trying to act like you going to say some slick stuff to me about my girl or act a certain way when we come around without just saying what the problem is, bro. You need to fix that, bro. Is you putting something in her ear? What you got going on, bro? What's the feelings? Don't want to address it. Twist it and turn it. All right, bro, whatever. So, I'm not about to argue with you. So, we get to the point where I'm kind of tolerating him. And at this time, also, in attempts to have my mother in my child's life, I start attempting to talk to my mother more. And it wasn't me reaching out; it was her because like we always been doing. They got these little manipulation tactics, and they think that every child just has some blind allegiance to take care of their parent as if they're the parent. So she trying to convince us to move to Alabama. Long story short, I'm telling her, bruh, we not moving down there. I'm not helping you with this phantom business plan about, doing, picking people up in taxi service and this, that, and the third, because Uber and Lyft exists. I'm not doing something that's not going to work. And I'm not telling her that it's not going to work to put her down or to try to make her feel away. I'm telling her this to try to convey, yo, I'm not on board. Just leave it alone. But every time you calling me, you trying to talk me into this, that, and the third. She, speeding it up, she built a pseudo relationship with my girl and her mom to try to get in a little closer, which was my opinion of what was going on. And once she seen that it wasn't working, she really went ghost. Like, she would speak to my girl's mom, like say she would be over our house, She would speak to her on the phone for a little bit. It said if we happened to be over, if we happened to be on the phone when she was over there, and then like you go ghost. And my girl mom talking about, dang, is your mom okay? We haven't heard from her. I don't see you talking to her like that. And long story short, she tries to get in my girl's ear about something that I'm already telling her, bro, this ain't happening. So with my mom and with me seeing that you kind of looked at me as I'm about to be some type of subsidiary of income, I don't know if that's the right choice of words, I'm not with that. And you're trying to sow discord amongst me and my lady, trying to go behind my back to ask her something I already told you that we both was not with, as we're trying to raise a child, starting new careers, going into a new career field. You don't care about none of that. You just want what you want to go down. You blocked. You blocked. I'm not playing like that. I'm done with you. So let's get into how let's get into how having no contact is gonna get you in a place where you may be lonely, you may feel isolated, because you having no contact with your parents is gonna have some blowback to either people that have allegiance to your parents, like your siblings or your grandparents, or people that are enablers of the toxicity and manipulation. A lot of us deal with parents that are my age, you know, born in 1995, deal with certain types of parents in their age brackets. And I don't got time to go into that. Y'all know parents of 90s babies, a good majority of them ain't shit. So, for a majority of reasons. So, we get to the point where they both cut off because I'm just not going to go back and forth. The way that my dad was treating me, I started treating him the same way because you really ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? You just trying to make somebody feel like they're less than him, but you ain't shit, nigga. You should be somewhere else with the mind that you have. So surely you treating me like this, you're not just gonna think I'm just gonna keep cowering down. You should be cool with being talked to like that too. So I'm talking crazy. You feel me? But I get to the point where it's like, bro, you don't need to be giving out that energy. You're not even that type of person. So if you can't take the way he talks to you without lashing out and trying to make him feel a way, you should stop talking to him. And then I stopped talking to my mom because, like, fam, the experience I had with her in Tampa, certain things, physical injuries that I have had still lingering because she ain't do what she needed to do as a parent, certain narratives she's tried to put on me. I was just done. It's just like, bruh, you wild, bro. I'm cool. So we get to the point where people are chiming in, and way more people are chiming in on my mom's side because she kind of built up. She has had a lie brigade protect her miscomings because it kind of exposes their shortcomings. So it's a running narrative in the family on my mom's side that I hold grudges, that I'm selfish, and my girl would kind of hear these things, you know, maybe when people was calling me, trying to get me into stuff, and she never understood why somebody would say her dude was selfish, because I've never been anything but unselfish when it comes to her, because I care for people that care for me. So, long story short, my relationship that used to always be good with my grandmother starts going down the drain for two reasons. One, because every time my brother is calling her because that's what they would do. He'd ask me to do something. He's also somebody that has been enabled and also been a user. So he's asking me to do stuff for him. He's asking me to get in with him on stuff that I ain't got no business doing. He ain't got no business doing either, to the point where I cut him off because you put my family in a situation when my girl was pregnant. And it was a situation that could have got us both in trouble, and me in way more trouble than you because of past experience in this line of crime. And at that point, it was like, yo, if you care about yourself, if you care about getting a finite amount of money so easily without actually doing work for it, that you'll put me in a position when I have a child on the way and you already have multiple children, I don't need to be around you. So I'm not noticing that my grandmother, and this is my opinion, and the reason why I have not been able to confirm this is because, some people, they just will lie and lie and lie and, use God as a way to evade accountability. So I've never gotten an answer with this, but I feel like my grandmother had some resentment for me for leaving because she wanted me to stay for selfish reasons. So with this resentment, and y'all know people do this, when somebody resents you, when somebody has a bone to pick with you, it's very easy for them to be influenced by people that are slandering your name. It's very easy for them to believe anything that a person speaking bad on you, a person that wants to put a bad narrative on you, it's very easy for them to believe that because they wanted you to do this, so they know better. They know what's best for you, even though they're really looking out for their interests. So you can't be doing well. You gotta be doing something messed up because that's how it's gonna work in their head. That's how it's going to make sense. The lies that they're telling themselves, you gotta not be doing what you're supposed to be doing. So people making up lies, this, that, and the third. Every time she called me, it's why you doing this? Why you doing that? Do you have proof that I'm doing this? No, but I don't care about proof. Stop doing it. Why you doing this? Why you believing somebody that's documented for not being the man they're supposed to be for their family? Why does his word mean so much to you? I don't care. Stop doing that. And you need to get in contact with a nigga that's trying to incriminate you all the time and always trying to do some backwards stuff, and he got charges that proves that he don't do what he's supposed to do. You got to get in contact with him because he's your family. So at this point, I'm kind of done because from my perspective, bro, and neither of y'all that helped me do nothing. Neither of y'all did nothing, and I'm not gonna say nothing, but neither of y'all put as much effort as y'all should have put to make sure that I was a functioning member of society. Yet that I am, because I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and you somehow feel like you are entitled to some benefit of me being a person that works and does what they're supposed to do so they can pay their bills. Even though I have a small child, you have a resentment towards me because I'm not helping you in the way that you feel like I should help you, even though I don't have the time, money, or brain bandwidth to do these things, which is why I'm cutting you off, which is why I don't want to mess with you. So in turn, on my dad's side, you want to start trying to talk to my girl a certain way because you want her to know, you want to put it to her like you don't mess with her, or you want to let her know you feel a type of way about her. And then on my mom's side, you want to build this narrative and have my brothers against me, have my grandmother just hoping that I'm doing wrong, trying to jump on every lie that somebody can come up with so that you can make up this narrative that I'm a bad person, even though you're the bad person, that I'm a hateful person, I'm vindictive, even though you're hateful and vindictive. You've never showed me anything but that. You've never been a parent to me, but it's now I'm wrong for not being a parent to you when I'm your kid. Me as a parent, I believe that you're supposed to do whatever you need to do to make sure your kid has what they need. Your kid lives in an environment where their brain can develop, where they don't have to see things that they're not supposed to see, where they are protected physically and mentally. And fam, if you are a family member that feels entitled to something that I have or reaping the benefits of me and my girl having two incomes, and it's gonna affect my child, you can't be around us. You can't have access to us. Once he's trying to be all have an attitude with my girl, because she came to me crying one day like, why is it that every time he texts me it's some type of nastiness in the tone? Why is this? Why is that? I don't do nothing to him. I don't understand why he don't like me. I'm tired of it. So I blocked his number out of our phone. Cause he was already blocked from my phone. Cause I'm not, bro. I don't do these mental gymnastics, bro. As a grown man, if you can't answer a straight question, if you can't be accountable, bro, I'm just not gonna deal with you on a day-to-day basis because I don't have things to fall back on to where I can take chances with people that seem to be jealous of me, or I can by chance put myself in a disadvantageous position because I have mouths to feed. You know what I'm saying? A child. So I'm not gonna put myself in a position to where I can be down bad because you are just looking out for yourself, and I'm just gonna have to accept the blowback from that. I'll just put you at a distance at a certain point because you're not what's best for me and you're not safe. I don't trust you. So it gets volatile with my mom's side of the family because I got my brother, one of my brothers, and this is not even the brother that, put me in a situation, but one of my brothers is calling me like, you need to do this. You need to do this, that, and the third. And I'm just saying, I'm telling him like, bro, I don't need to do nothing, bro. You're not my dad. I don't need to do nothing. I don't care how you feel about this, that, and the third. You over, and it comes to my mind that, oh, these people have banded together, my two brothers and my mother, and she's kind of being the mouthpiece, like, say this to them, deal with them like this. And I never proved this, but you're harping on the fact that I'm unforgiving, that I'm hateful, that I'm so angry. And it's like, oh, you got that from her. Y'all are in cahoots. So it gets to a point where I had to cut him off because it's like, I don't know what issue you have with me. I don't know if you think I don't be understanding this underlying smoke that people be having for me, but it starts becoming a thing, and it's like, all right, bro, you again can't have a straight up conversation with me. I have to cut you off too because at a point I'm really thinking you calling to get information and then you running back and talking to people that I don't give the ability to contact me as a way for them to try to work their little moves. So I cut him off. And the biggest one when it was coming to no contact was when I had to cut my grandma off for a little bit because when my brother put me in a situation, she was a part of it. And she will not admit that she was a part of it, but she was a part of it. And at that point, I forgive you for being a part of it because it could have been unknowingly, but now you keep bringing this person up to me, and you should be you should have apologized for letting yourself be a part of something if you didn't know you were, but you want to act like you didn't understand what happened, even though I explained it to you. And then now you want to call me saying I need to help this person out, this person that don't care about nobody but themselves. And if I don't help a person that doesn't have my best interest in heart, I'm selfish. And I tell her one time, like, bro, I don't mess with liars. I don't mess with people that manipulate. I don't mess with people that only are out for themselves. Leave it alone. She don't leave it alone. I send her a long email breaking down everything about why you gonna be on the block list for a little bit because you don't care what I got going on. So you can't have access because I don't need to be hearing certain things. With this, there was somebody else that got upset. This person had underlying issues because I had not brought my daughter down to Florida to visit. The reason I had not brought my daughter down to Florida to visit is because we ain't got it like that. And as I did a couple months ago, I was looking to change jobs because I need to be in the best environment that I need to be in the best environment that's going to be conducive to my mental health and conducive to longevity, and not be around people that are trying to push me down when I should have been being brought up. So I'm knowing this. We going, bro. We trying to move, bro. A kid is expensive, bro. It's not like we rich. We straight. We definitely good to be where we at and where we come from. But fam, it's 2023, 2024. A kid is expensive. And it's just like I was just so fed up with people being mad at me because I didn't do what they wanted me to do. When in hindsight, if I did what you wanted me to do, my family would be at risk. My family may not be getting what they need. And you don't care about that. You don't even look at it from a factual perspective. And this is the thing about family. Family won't even look at something from a factual perspective and say, hey, that's probably not the best thing for him. Even though it would help me, it's not going to help him. So I'm cool with him not doing it. It's so much about you. You so entitled just because we related to each other, not because you done just set me up and really looked out for me, but it's just because you want something. You don't even care enough to just come and ask me, hey, why haven't you done this? Why did you leave? I miss you. Why didn't you guys move in with me? Why won't you guys help me with this business? What's the actual reasons? Let's get down to the brass tacks of things. You're not even an adult enough to have the conversation to hear what's really going on. You just, I want this, I want that, and if you don't do it, I'm mad at you. And now I'm gonna sow discord. I'm gonna help spread lies about you just so I can make it seem like you're not a good person to people that don't want you to be a good person. I'm waiting for a lie to be spread about you so I can spread it because I feel entitled to you and you helping me out in life. And once there was a person, my grandma, she walked going around lying, and well, I'll tell that, before I end the story. She going around lying and telling people she don't know why I'm not talking to her, and this person is emotional because they so entitled to what they want. They so mad that I ain't took no train, no, we ain't took no plane trip to go be around people that want to spread lies and narratives about us so that they can see my daughter, as if planes don't go from Florida to PA. Because we never talked about that. We never talked about, hey, what if I came to visit you? If you want to see my daughter so bad, we didn't talk about these things. And it's like, I'm just supposed to, that's the thing about my family. I'm supposed to do so much. I got so many responsibilities as a 28, 29-year-old man who's still figuring stuff out in life, has been made to look stupid in certain situations because I just don't know certain things. I just wasn't hip to certain things because I wasn't prepared to be an adult. And I'm still doing my best and I'm still doing what I need to do as a father, as a partner. We've been together for 8 years and never cheated on my girl, never hit her, nothing like that. Never put her in a disadvantageous position, have never taken advantage of her, only done what is going to help build my girl up to be the woman that she is, and as she's done the work herself. I'm wrong. I'm a bad person because I didn't do what you wanted me to do, what you wanted me to do, even though if we look at your life, you've only done what you wanted to do. And this is not just to one person. I'm a bad person because I didn't do what you wanted me to do. You gonna believe a narrative because you mad at me about something that you didn't even address, blocked, bruh. Blocked. No, we can't be cool. No, you have to stay a certain distance from me because the entitlement, I get that it's normal. I get that a lot of people are led by it. I get that a lot of people are unhappy because they feel entitled to certain things that they don't want to work to get. But I don't give a shit, bro. That's not reality. That's a delusion that you choose to live in, bro. I don't have to succumb to the delusions and entitlements that you've made up for yourself about what you think a person should do. I don't have to do shit. I don't have to do shit for nobody but my girl and my daughter, my immediate family. That's my first responsibility. And just because it's been normalized to have that, you got to carry people that don't want to carry their own weight. You got to put it on your back because you're resilient and you want to be better in life. I don't have to give a fuck about what's been normalized. I don't have to give a fuck about what other bad parents say your kid gotta do because you put them on this earth. Bruh, that's not a trump card. If you got it, you got it. If you have it to pour into people that maybe didn't give you the best upbringing, I'm not saying don't do it. But if I don't got it, if I don't got the bandwidth, if I don't think when I'm helping you, obviously my girl's gonna have to help you too because we do this together because we got a kid. So we want, schedules and everything. If I don't think you gonna respect my girl when she helping you do something that she don't need to do, she just not gonna do it. If I don't think you're actually gonna be there for my child and you're not just doing stuff performatively just to go tell somebody else, oh, I did this, I did that, but I ain't never emotionally been there for my granddaughter. I ain't never got to know my granddaughter because I don't care about her like that. I care about me. You don't need to be around us. If every time you call me a young parent, my baby is turning 3 next week. Every time, 90% of the time people have called me, that these people that have been cut off, 90% of the time that they was calling me over the years of my baby being born, she being a toddler coming up, they said nothing about my baby. They didn't even ask how my daughter was, because that's my number one priority. So you want me to be a priority to you. And this I hope the story is, I'm getting all the points in with the story. People want you to be a priority. People want to be up on your priority list, but they don't care about, or they don't want to even act like they care about what your first priority is. Why should I give access to that person? Why should I do that? Now, I'm gonna be real with you. The no contact with my grandmother is an older lady, so I don't recommend, unless a person is up there in age, because I don't, it's not right to I'm not gonna say it's not right, but it's not gonna feel good to not talk to somebody knowing that you don't know when they're gonna go. Not that she's sick or anything, but she up in age, and it's like I want to make it somewhat right. And I decided to open the lines of contact back up with my grandmother for that reason, that she's older. Not that she, was accountable for what I had an issue with, because, mental gymnastics is real in the black community and it's very detrimental. But I just didn't want something to happen, and I just ain't talked to my grandmother, because even though she was helping sow discord, I could see why she was hurt that I left. And even though it's still selfish, it was nowhere in comparison to anything that other people that I cut off did, that I have no contact with, did. With the whole thing of her being involved with people putting me in a bad situation, it's very true that she didn't know what was going on. And I know that she means well, but y'all know how older people are. Sometimes they think that they just so right to the point, and they've been thinking that so long that something drastic has to happen to where it's like, oh, wow, I did really mess up. And there's been instances in over the years that I've heard where it's like, okay, you don't really have a she really hasn't had a choice but to be like, okay, man, I get it. And I did get an apology, even though it was a way around thing, but that's another thing when it comes to this no contact, bro. You push somebody to where you feel like you cannot give them the ability to just reach out to you, and if you're not accountable for it, once they do open back up, or once y'all do resolve the situation, you're gonna have to be cool with the relationship never being the same. The relationship's never gonna be like that. That's why, and I don't know if I'll ever have a relationship with my parents, because it's kind of past the feelings that I have, because I don't have time to worry about these things. I'm not angry with my upbringing. I'm not mad about that, because I had 18 years to be upset about that. I had 18 years to harbor that. I had like 2 to 3 years to be angry with it after I became an adult. But at a certain point, bro, you just can't let certain things you just can't be a victim and be like, oh, life isn't going well because my mama never did this. Life isn't going well because my dad never did this. It's up to you now to do what's best for you, especially if you have a child. So those things have been put down. Now, my issue today, the no contact today, it has everything to do with my daughter, everything to do with my girl. My daughter's mother, we're all connected. These are my immediate families. So if you want to have an issue, if you don't want to do what you should do from just being there as a grandfather, even over the phone as a grandmother, or if you're trying to draw, if you're trying to draw dissension between me and my siblings that we don't really know each other as a result of you not doing what you're supposed to be doing, the communication can't be open, bro. Because at the end of the day, I have to do what's best for me. You feel me? And people will say, you only get one family. Yeah, you do only get one family, but it's not the family that y'all think it is. Your family, once you become a man, once you become a woman, once you become a parent, your family is your children, and yes, the person you chose to have kids with them. That's your family. That's your number one priority. We have to be focused, and we have to do what's best for us and what's best for you. And until we do that, we can't do for other people. Now, some people, you may look at this and you may judge and you may be triggered because you have a tight-knit family. You have a family that's giving you opportunity. You have a family that's bent over backwards to give you the life that you've lived. So you've healed some type of obligation. And I understand that. I understand that. And I don't feel no type of way if you looking at me crazy. Bro, that's not for me to worry about. You feel me? But I don't have that. I've had people put me in a position for things that I got expunged off of my record, and then you still have the nerve to be upset with me that I didn't let you put me in that position, as if it wasn't going to mess up the current standing I had with my job history and that good resume that I fought and worked for myself. No references, no this is my cousin, this is my nephew, can you get them in there? None of that. I've done what I've needed to do to be all right. Because I'm not saying, I'm only 29. I'm by far not even close professionally or just being the man that I'm supposed to be right now. But I'm doing damn good at it. And just because I put myself here doesn't make you entitled to it because we share the same bloodline. I got a daughter to feed. I got a daughter to feed. I got my girl to be here for emotionally, to help, to carry my weight in the house, physically, bro. I got stuff to teach my kid. And guess what? Her mother, the one that's been there for us, we got to be there for her too. Not people that haven't been there, not people that are just there to see, to reap the benefits of your hard work. Bro, you're going to feel lonely. You're going to feel bad for cutting off people. But if you have it in your mind that this person isn't good for you, the energy that they bring around is not something that you want in your household, and they don't want to fix it, they want to inadvertently, because they're never going to tell you, oh, because I used to like when people used to say, so what? This is how I am. Get over it. Because at least you being 100, at least you being straight up like, yeah, this is how I'm going to treat you, and I don't care. But they're going to tell you by their actions that this is what you're going to get, and you just going to have to deal with it. You just got to work with it. You got to work around the triggers that I have, the insecurities that I have, because I ain't been the person that I need to be, and now I'm suffering because I'm at an age to where I can only do so much. Bruh, not me. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not dealing with it, and it's a hard thing to talk about. But fam, we can't keep falling victim to just doing what's easy for us, and what somebody else that's not doing what they supposed to do is going to back us on, because we want to be victims and we want to blame this and blame that and the government this and the white man that. Bruh, if you do what you're supposed to do in America, if you don't let whatever disadvantages you have, whatever you have to deal with as a result of being whatever stereotypical thing, your race, sex, or hair color, whatever music you listen to, a person can put on you, you can get out here and do something. And I'm not saying you have to be out here lying, cheating, and stealing like a lot of people do to get to the top, because it's not like that. Because I've never ever been benefited from stepping on another person, from taking something I shouldn't have took, from doing something I shouldn't have did. Why? Because that's not my character. That's not the person I am. That's not me being true to myself. I can't speak on people who are like that and are successful, but that's never helped me professionally. So that's not what I do. So for some, you know what I'm saying? People I'm just saying, because people will act like you got to do things that are not ethical to get to places that you want to get, and that's just more entitlement and selfishness. If that's not you, don't do that, because you need to do what you need to do. You need to do what's true to yourself, what's best for your first mind, and not what you want, what's best for you, so you can have your child in a position to not grow up and look at you like less than, because you let your life decisions or your upbringing affect your full ability to raise them. And instead of being 100 with them and saying, yo, I messed up, yo, this is da-da-da-da-da, yo, let me help you do this, let me do this for you so you don't end up in the position that I am. And I feel like sometimes my dad, he used to think like, oh, he ain't about to be on nothing. Oh, he gonna need me. I'm sweet because he gonna need me because he can't do nothing. I don't know if my dad has ever known, besides the job I got as a cart attendant from the first couple of months I lived here, I don't think he's ever known or cared what I do for a living. He don't care. It's not about him. He know that I'm not his roommate, so what he got to worry about it for? Why would, fam, if you don't care what your son is doing, I could be out here moving weight. He wouldn't know. He wouldn't know. My mother, when I was becoming a business analyst, when I was going through what I needed to go through to be a business analyst, she was trying to get me to move. Why would I move And I could have moved because like it was a work from anywhere type position, but why would I move when I'm coming into a new career field, coming into a corporate environment? Why would I move when I'm learning on the job? Why would you want me to uproot my family and move from this, excuse me, whoo, sorry about that, and move from this 3 bedroom to move into a 1 bedroom apartment? What good would that do? Is that gonna cause less stress on my child and my girl? Why would we do that? Oh, because you only care about yourself. And fam, I implore you, if you have parents like that, if you have parents with that mindset, if you have parents with that mindset that see that you not with it, and instead of just being like, all right, let me just let him live his life because, you know, I could have did more. I could have did this and I didn't. Instead, are gonna try to make you feel bad that you ain't did this, that, and the third when you try to sit there and try to work with them. They don't deserve it, bro. They don't deserve it. I fully stand with anybody that makes that decision because they're looking out for their mental health, because they need the bandwidth in their mind to be able to do what they need to do for the people that they put on earth. Don't let nobody make you feel bad about that. Don't let nobody try to make you emotionally manipulate you to feeling like you're obligated to helping people out when you know you're really not at that point. Because I promise you, and we hear it all the time when basketball players talk about how they bought their mom a house and she ain't even got the house no more because she didn't have the financial education or the need to get the financial education to make sure to keep that upkeep. Or you done gave family members money and they done effed it off, and now all they do is ask you for money because they think you a bank and they didn't actually do what they needed to do with the lump sum of money that you gave them. I have none of that. I don't have millions of dollars. I don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to give nobody. I don't have the time to pour into people because I'm pouring into it what I need to pour it into. So if I see that people with the resources try to do stuff that people that don't really deserve it, for people that don't really deserve it, and it don't work, why I'm gonna do that? Why you wanna do that? That's not fair to your child. That's not fair to your significant other. And those are the people that you are obligated to help, obligated to make sure are good. And if you don't believe that, if you want to flip and dip it and make it something that is not, because we done normalize not being who we need to be for the immediate family, cool. But over here, we ain't preaching that. We ain't preaching that. We ain't agreeing with it. We ain't rooting for it. Y'all not doing what y'all supposed to be doing. Do what you're supposed to be doing. Be the man or woman that you need to be so that we don't have more brain dead young people out here like there are in my generation running first place in the Victim Olympics, because it's no longer the white man. It's no longer the system. It's us, parents, not doing what they're supposed to be doing. That's facts. Y'all enjoy y'all Sunday.